sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go on, close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sonny. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making a op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. The kid, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life.
All right. Shalom, Israel, live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Preaching Captain Soccer War holding down a class live from Memphis, Tennessee every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have classes here in Memphis from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All you brothers and sisters tuning in, if you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Since 1969, we have been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2026, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on this earth. So what we like to do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible so that they could gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High has put inside of this book so that we can come back to being the people he called us to be and reclaim our righteous place on the earth as kings, priests, princesses, and daughters of Zion. With that being said, I'd like to start the class off with questions. If any brothers or sisters online have questions, type them in. If there are no questions online, anybody got questions in the room, raise your hand, And if there's no questions, we'll get into the topic of tonight's class. What you see on the screen is the worst part. All right, the worst part. All of us, most of us, have the experience of waking up to the truth, learning about the 12 tribes of Israel, learning about the true identity of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, learning the truth about Jesus Christ and about the Most High, and about, the chosen people of God and the laws and the statutes and commandments that's in this book. And for those of us who have undergone the process of, receiving the truth and transforming and dedicating our lives to obeying the Most High, the beauty of living in the knowledge, the beauty of, the changes that you make in your life and knowing that you're actually serving God the way that he intended for us to serve him. And you're no longer just tied into traditions and, a belief that we were raised with, but you actually can go in the Bible and show and prove that what you believe and what you follow and what you understand is biblically accurate. But there's a part of being in the truth that rarely gets talked about. There's I don't want to say a downside, but there is a unshakable trouble that comes with being in the truth. There's a undeniable sacrifice that we all have to make that causes us a lot of pain, a lot of heartache. It causes us a lot of discomfort and a lot of frustration in life being in the truth. And tonight's class is going to be about that. We're going to talk about the worst part about being in the truth. All right. For the brothers and sisters tuning in, before I get into what the worst part is, I would like to get some of you all's, opinions or experiences about the worst part of being in the truth. If there's one thing that you could reflect on your life in the truth and look back and, acknowledge this was especially difficult, or this was hard, or this was rough to deal with, what is the worst part of being in the truth? What is the worst part of, learning the truth and dedicating your life to the Most High? What is the thing that's the hard part that you struggle with when it comes to being in the truth? I'm going to lay out for a few seconds and give you an opportunity to answer, but I really would like some feedback from the brothers and sisters tuning in on what you feel like is the worst part of being in the truth. What is the thing that's, makes it difficult not to remain in the truth, but, what is it that makes being in the truth difficult, makes being in the truth hard for you to, accept? And then maybe it's different for everybody. That's why I'm asking the question. But I've been in the truth for quite some time. And in my life, being in the truth, knowing how much it's helped me, knowing how much I've grown, knowing how much I've matured over the years, being able to look at my life where I am now and the situations and circumstances that I'm faced with and how I address them and how I deal with them, I know that I'm so much better than I was before the truth. I thank the Most High every day for Commander General Yohana and for the ISUPK for being there for me when my time came to try to find myself. I thank the Lord for the men, for the ISUPK being on the streets when I was lost, when I was, destroyed, when I was trying to find my way. And I thank the Most High for those brothers raising me up and teaching me and allowing me, room to grow, allowing me, space to make mistakes and to not be perfect. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I thought I knew when I came into the truth. And it's not easy to tell someone that something they know to be true is wrong without a little patience, without a little bit of understanding. And I thank the Lord that the men who he saw fit to be over me when I came into truth in DC, and the men who were over me when I moved to Philly, and the men who have been over me all these years, they were able to be patient with me, were able to allow me to make certain mistakes and, to experience life and to, go through the growing pains of maturing and becoming a man without me feeling like I was a failure, without me being made to feel like I was, a piece of shit, or being made to feel like I was just some wicked nigga that couldn't get it right. And I know that because I fought, because I worked hard, because I tried, the Lord honored that by allowing me to still be in the truth, by allowing me to maintain my spirit. But there's a lot of people who never even took the chance to get right, never even took the opportunity to learn the truth. You know what I'm saying? So they missed out on that opportunity to grow. They missed out on the opportunity to experience that patience and that brotherhood and that kindness that the men of the Lord showed to me. You know what I'm saying? And for all of us, I think there is a sense of appreciation that we have for the truth, in that it allows us room to grow, allows us to be able to come in here and not be perfect, and to be given the grace um, to be able to, you know, let the Lord work out the kinks, let the Most High deal with us in our time of growth, in our time of, ignorance, so that we can become who we were called to be. All right. But I got a couple of okay. So I did something different with the camera this week, and I thought that it was going to stop it from going out, and it still went out anyway. This is just, I don't understand. I did not understand. I tried to go with the camera. Y'all know last night the camera went out, and I said, okay, no sweat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to the drawing board and see what's going on with it, and it just went out again, and I don't know why. So bear with me while I try to get this camera back up. We might have to go back to the computer camera again, which I don't know why we would have to do that. Okay, that's that. I'll get this here. Boom. Okay. See if it come back up. I think what's going on is the computer that I'm using, but it might be the browser. Something is not allowing me to be able to stream in such high definition. But if I go down on the definition, I don't think that's going to help it at all. It should have blown. I worked on this thing for about an hour before I started class, and thought I solved it, but apparently no. Just bear with me. All right, we're going to go back to this camera, which is not a good camera. It's a dingy. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's see something. This might be this. I might be able to make this camera work. Let's see something. See what we're doing here. Let's see. Okay, let's cut that off. All right, we'll cut that off. We're going to scroll down here, and then we're going to scroll down again. All right. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. Now, how does that look on the camera we got? See, that look better. All right, we're good to go. Just needed a little light. All right, we're in the game. The question I asked was, for you brothers and sisters that's tuning in, what is the hardest part about being in the truth, or about coming into the truth? Okay, not being in the truth or coming into the truth. What is the thing that is difficult for you being in the truth? Right? When I say that, it's not necessarily, I don't want to phrase it like it's hard being in the truth, man. Oh, what was me? I had to give up this job or give up this thing, but there's a difficulty that everyone experiences being in the truth. And I'm going to discuss it tonight in class, what I consider to be the worst part of the truth, or the hardest thing to adjust and adapt to being in the truth. And I wanted to get some feedback from you brothers and sisters tuning in on what you feel like is the worst part for you, the hardest adjustment, or the most difficult thing to deal with when it comes to being in the truth, that it just makes it hard to accept the truth and everything that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Sister Kazakwana said earlier, she said separation from her blood family. And I'm sure we all can understand that to an extent. You come into the truth, and many of us was raised Christian, raised in the church, and you come into the truth and stop celebrating Christmas, man, it's like the end of the world for some of us. Come in the world and stop celebrating birthdays, and you don't want to do the 4th of July no more. Thanksgiving, it's like, man, what the hell kind of cult you got into? You know what I'm saying? Or because you come into the truth and you don't smoke weed no more. You come into the truth and you don't, you're a brother that used to go on 2-man missions and had friends in the world. You go deal with hoes. You don't deal with hoes no more. You know what I'm saying? Some of us come in the truth. Some brothers have a white mother. Come in the truth, and you first learn the truth. The white man is the devil. You full out fight and argue with your mama. You know what I'm saying? Break your family apart, and it's a difficult thing. So for a lot of brothers and sisters, being separated from their blood family is difficult, right? What are some other things? What are some other things that makes being in the truth hard for you, or the worst? What you would consider to be the worst part of the truth? And it's important that we discuss this because there's things that we all struggle with and we all suffer with. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it gets talked about enough. The difficult things that come with being in the truth. You know what I'm saying? That just, of course, you got to fight your flesh. Of course, you got to resist temptation. But what are some other things that you think about that's the worst part of being in the truth? Anybody else? Officer Makwala, I brought you in as well, like if you wanted to be heard.
Come, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, Shabrakatah, the water
Yo,
cup.
y'all should show the water to you out. Also, any brothers and sisters online, if y'all want to join in the class or y'all want to be able to be heard in the classroom, just click that link and I can bring you in. All right. Sister Tangela Howard said, trying to follow all the commandments. That can be difficult for some people. You know what I'm saying? Making the adjustment of doing life how you wanted to do it. Now you got to come in here and not eat pork no more and not eat shrimp. You know what I'm saying? The brother Dwayne Davis said his family wants to unalive him because he was the ISUPK. So you went through, you know what I'm saying, the separation from your family as well, brother. Understood. Sister Kapatazar said feeling mentally crazy / schizophrenic. You understand? And feeling mentally crazy / schizophrenic, if you don't mind, Sister Kapatazar, does that come from people not believing you, people not understanding, the truth when you tell it to them? Or is that something that you're dealing with in your mind? Is it in your mind that you feel like you're crazy or feel like what you're believing is, not something you can accept? So you're fighting with yourself over what you're being, over what you're learning. Help me out with a little bit more with that. Sister Kamala said people won't easily accept the truth and have the understanding that you have, and you must accept that. That's what I'm gonna talk about tonight. Sister Kamala is my mother. Sister Kamala is my mother. I can understand why she had the same answer that I did. And it's just so I'm gonna flesh it out for y'all a little bit. There's a part of being in the truth that causes you to watch people who you love suffer because they refuse to serve the Lord. Like, it is very, very difficult being in the truth, knowing the truth, having experienced the Most High changing your life and showing you the way and learning how to battle with the things that have, ruled over you in your life, learning how to overcome the spiritual temptations that you have, fought your whole life. When you grow in the truth, it makes you so much better and it improves your quality of life from a mental standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, from a being able to perceive things in the world differently than other people. But what makes it extremely difficult having this knowledge and having this understanding and having experienced the transformation that comes with giving your life to the Lord is watching someone who you care about suffer and struggle because they refuse to serve the Lord. To have someone you love, you know what I'm saying? The Lord blessed me that my mother came into the truth with me. I know brothers whose mothers hate the truth and hate them for being in the truth. And I could not imagine what that is like to struggle with, fighting with your mom over the Bible. There's brothers who come in the truth and they're, married, have a family, a wife that loves them and care about them. And he come in the truth and stop celebrating these holidays. And that woman wants to divorce and the brother will fight to keep the marriage together and stay together. Why? Because he knows that this woman leaving him is going to be destruction for her. She leaves anyway and goes back into the world, and you got to watch them be destroyed and watch them suffer because their heart was hardened against the truth and against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Many of us have family members who we love, cousins and sisters and brothers who we are watching struggle with drug addiction. We're watching them struggle with alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are raising children who we're watching them choose to go down a horrible path in life. And it hurts to watch someone who you love and care about do the opposite of what the Lord said to do, because you know it's only going to make things worse for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking this. I've been in the truth 15 years. And I have family who I know are struggling, who I know are battling with the demons and spiritually and trying to find themselves and trying to get right with the Lord. And for me to be in the truth 15 years, to watch a little cousin get baptized by a white man in water and he say he's giving his life to God is like, it's baffling to me. It's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you went and got baptized in the water with the white man? You know what I'm saying? I got partners who I grew up with, brothers who when I was young in the truth, I bring them to class, brought him to class, and he chose to fight the truth because General Muhammad called women bitches in the class. That bitch at home is trying to get you to do this and do that, and that bitch at home is trying to get you to, celebrate Christmas. And the brother at the end of class got mad and was like, "Man, why you got to call women bitches, man? I don't get that, man. You got the Bible calling women bitches," and I'm in the car like, "Nigga, we call bitches all the time. What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Nah, man, that shit ain't right. My woman ain't no bitch, man. My woman ain't no bitch." And I'm like, "You just was calling this bitch a bitch yesterday. What are you talking about?" Long story short, this was 15 years ago. We had this conversation. I watched this grown ass man, 40 years old, getting dunked in water last week in the church. He getting dunked in water, woman getting dunked in water, his son, 17, getting dunked in the water. And they celebrating like it's an amazing thing. And I'm sitting there like,
Salaki, what?
what Salaki, go ahead with it, Makola.
Good night, sir. Sir, please tell me this is a joke, sir. Salaki.
I'm not joking. I wish I was joking. I wish this was not something that I had to experience. And it's just, that's the worst part of being in the truth. The worst part is having this knowledge and this understanding. And people in your life that are struggling and the Lord is whooping their ass. And you're you're there to help them if they would ask for it. I've got tired of arguing with people about the truth. I don't even offer it anymore. Like, I've argued with these same people I'm talking about. I told them, listen, man, and there's been a time where this little cousin that I watched get baptized in the white man's water last week, he's gone through a lot of trials in his life where it was the Lord against him. And I've sat with this brother and told him, listen, things in your life are not going to get better until you come to serve the Lord. Until you deal with the Most High, man, and you learn to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, things are not going to get better. I get it. It ain't for everybody. What we do going out on the streets and teaching, it ain't for everybody. Now, you ain't got to do that. You don't have to, be a soldier in order to serve the Lord. You could just come to class. You could just listen to what we're saying, and you could read the Bible and study it, and you could just stop celebrating the white man's holidays. You know what I'm saying? You could start paying your tithes, leave white women alone. And I sat and talked with this cousin, because he's struggling, going through some things. And I tell him what he should do. Then I can look up on the internet and see him getting dunked in the water. And it's like, it's going to get worse for you now. You thought you was in hell before you got dunked in that water. Now you're really finna be in hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't save him. I can't do nothing for him. No amount of yelling, no amount of being angry about it, no amount of talking to your family till they blue in the face about what they should do coming to serve the Lord is going to help them to actually come serve the Lord. That has the decision that they have to make on their own. And so you have to be in the truth and watch people who you love and who you care about choose to go against the Lord, and you just have to bear witness to it. You understand what I'm saying? Salaki, Sister Kapatnazar, from what she said earlier, said warring against others' beliefs and myself. So the sister earlier said that one of the worst parts for her being in the truth is feeling mentally crazy and schizophrenic. So I asked her to give me a little bit more, and she said warring against others' beliefs and herself. You know what I'm saying? And that can be difficult for a lot of brothers and sisters. And I think all of us, I wanted to ask you all about this because I think we're all saying the same thing.
But it's like I said, if I could.
Go ahead, Makula.
If I could, that's evidence you say that and throughout the surf allow me to speak. But that's something I struggle with too. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, I still can't believe it's true. You know what I mean? Because I have a hard time believing that the Lord allowed me to wake up to the truth. Because I just feel like it's so many more people that I know that I used to look up to, and people that I just feel like or just know. Like, man, these people better than me. Why the Lord chose me? I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying I came into the truth to become this big idol or somebody to be praised. But it's like, it's so many more better people out there that the Lord could have chose instead of me. So like,
Nah, for sure. And we have a term for that in the world. They call it survivor's remorse. Like you the one that made it out. Like for a cat that make it out the hood, you know what I'm saying? Get the NFL contract and get the NBA contract or go to college and get a good job. It's like you the one that made it out. You the one that got away from the hood, got away from the traps of the ghetto, and you didn't go to jail, didn't get shot, didn't catch a case, didn't have a baby mama. And it's like you living good and you made it out. But then you be feeling guilty sometimes. You feel bad, like, damn, bro, what did I do to get it? I didn't deserve this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, why the Lord chose me for this? That's survivor's remorse. You know what I'm saying? But all of that is a part of what I'm describing. Because, okay, what makes you feel that way, Makula, is you're looking at people who's suffering. And you're not suffering. And you like, damn, bro, why me? Why I get to be the one that to suffer? Why I get to be the one that got this? I got this knowledge, or you question it like, man, ain't no way the Lord chose me. Ain't no way, man. Like that's crazy. All these people I knew, I didn't deserve this, but you did though. And you got to accept that. The hard part about being in the truth is accepting that the Lord chose you. He didn't choose your cousin. He didn't choose your sister. He didn't choose your brother, your uncle. He chose you. And because he chose you, you are going to live a amazing life serving him, and no one else is going to understand it. No one else is going to get it. They're going to say you're crazy. They're going to say you're out of your mind. You're going to have to fight with yourself over it. And you have to know that that's part of this battle. That's part of being in the truth. When Christ talks about he that endures until the end, part of that endurance is accepting that the Lord chose you and he didn't choose the other 1,000 people you know. Lord chose you. He didn't choose the other 1,000 men that were greater than you or the women that you thought were better than you. He didn't choose them. He chose you. You know what I'm saying? Back to Sister Kapatnazar for a second. Sister said hearing voices is the schizophrenic part. Okay, so with that, Sister Kapatnazar, and this is maybe something that other brothers and sisters deal with. You come into the truth and you begin to learn about the Most High, learn about his laws, and learn about keeping these statutes and commandments. And then there's voices in your head that tell you to go against that. There's voices in your head that say, nah, man, nobody gonna trip the Lord. Yeah, it ain't even that deep. It ain't even that serious. I remember when I was young in the truth, I came in the truth about, not getting shape-ups, right? I told a partner of mine, I showed him the scripture about it, rounding the corners of your beard and marring the corners of your head. And this nigga looked me in my face and said, bro, if I go to hell because I get a shape up, then the Lord is going to have to send me to hell. Like, I don't think God cared about that. And it was like, the way he said it, I knew that in his mind, something said, man, fuck that shit. I need to get a shape up. And he looked at it like there's no way God would punish me over a shape up. And I'm looking at it like there's no way I would let a shape up keep me out of heaven. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it go both ways. You think that a shape up is so small that it means nothing, that the Lord won't deal with you on it. When I'm looking at it like, if all I got to do is not get a shape up and the Lord will accept me, why would I choose the shape up as the hill to die on? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a small example of battling over something that you learn in the truth, and a voice in your head is telling you, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to listen to that. Okay. Hearing the voices is not the schizophrenia, right? It's you not being able to choose to not do what the voices say. That is the schizophrenic part. all of us, not all of us, majority of us have a inner monologue. It's the voice in your head. For many of us, that voice in our head is so familiar to us that we think it's our voice. You know what I'm saying? We think it's our voice. But the reality is that's not your voice. That's the voice of an angel or the voice of a demon. That's the tempter that the Bible about. When Paul said he had a tempter, you know what I'm saying, to buffet him in the faith. He's talking about that voice in his head that's tempting him, trying to get him to sin, trying to get him to go against the Lord, trying to get him to do something that he shouldn't do. All of us battle with that, sis. All of us fight with that. You understand? Brother Dwayne Davis said fasting, praying and fasting gets with those demons. He's right. You know what I'm saying? Sister Kapatas, I said, let me clarify. Hearing my own voice in my head, but now that the truth explains its demons, I hear it all day battling. And that's the truth wakes you up to that battle. Before the truth, that demon that talks to you in your mind, you thought it was you. You thought it was your thoughts. You thought it was, you reasoning with yourself, when actuality, you're being convinced of something. You're being, what's the word we learned yesterday? When the Pharisees, the chief priests persuaded the people. That voice in your head is trying to persuade you. And learning the truth lets you know that voice in your head is trying to persuade you to sin against the Lord. And when you begin to learn the truth and understand the scriptures, you'll find another voice that persuades you to go against the voice trying to persuade you to sin against the Lord. And what the truth does is it allows for the voice that persuades you to serve the Lord to become louder than the voice that is tempting you to sin. Everybody remember when we was kids, they had the cartoons where it had a little demon on his shoulder and a little angel on the shoulder.
Tom McCann.
That was the white man trying to explain to us the voices in our heads. Which lets you know what? The white man understands the battle that we all are going through. The white man understands the internal struggle that many of us have spiritually with angels and demons in our mind. You understand? The battlefield for your soul is in your mind. That's where the angels and the demons go to war at. Battling and fighting with you over choosing to serve the Lord or choosing to serve your flesh. And so for the sister, she's saying it's difficult. That's the hardest part about being in the truth for her, is constantly battling in her mind to do the right thing, to serve the Lord, to not sin, to not fall back, to not go to those things that she knows is wrong. And that, to have that as your biggest struggle, that makes this battle to serve the Lord worthwhile. Like if you battling that, if you're a brother or sister who's constantly battling in your own mind over the small decisions to do right or to do wrong, the Lord is strong with you, that you are fighting that and winning that. You understand? I cannot say that that's a battle that I have a battle every day over serving the Lord or not serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could say I ever had that battle. Now, I have had the battle over, do I call to get counsel or not? Do I check? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've battled over, I ain't got to call nobody for that. I'll figure it out. I'll work it out. When that's Satan saying, I'll figure it out. I'll work it out. I don't need to call for counsel. That's Satan. I'll handle it on my own. That's a demon. I battle that, but I can't say every day I wake up and I battle with, am I going to get high? Am I going to, I don't have that experience. But for someone who does have that experience, just know that the Lord is with you greatly, that if you're overcoming that every day, if you're overcoming that daily and choosing to serve the Lord and choosing to do right, the Lord is strong with you. Everybody understands. And Lord, I pray that over time, it'll be easier. It'll become easier to fight. It'll become easier to, drown out the voices of Satan trying to get you to sin, and the voice of the Lord to stand and do right to be louder. Everybody understands.
Come.
We're going to go in the Bible, man, and I'm going to show you what the Bible describes as the worst part of being in the truth or coming into the light and giving your life to the Most High. We was going to go through a series of scriptures that breaks down the difficulty that comes with this life, comes with living righteously. Everybody understands? All right, let me get let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 18.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
Everybody understands. But in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. What is that talking about? As you grow in the truth and as you learn the way the Most High wanted for us to live, as you begin to dedicate yourself to living right and doing what the Lord said, guess what? You increase in grief. You understand? You increase in sorrow. Why? Why is there sorrow and grief that comes with serving the Most High? Why is there sorrow and grief that comes with giving your life to live in the truth? Anybody?
That's like it, sir.
Come on with it.
Is it because ignorance is bliss?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning like a child, like a child don't know right or wrong, so they just get enjoyment by doing whatever. But once you realize, hey, you can't, you got a hedge around you, it kind of discourage you in a sense because you're doing something and you see everybody else doing what you're told not to do.
Okay. The grief and the sorrow should not come from you having to do what's right.
Okay, come.
If that is the case, then you have to know that that's Satan.
Come.
The demon is choosing not to fight you on the front end of, whether you're gonna do the right thing or not. But when you do the right thing, there's something in you saying, "Look at you! You don't get to have no fun. You missing out on all the goodness and all of the enjoyment of life." That's a demon trying to convince you that sin is better.
Right.
There are some brothers and sisters who have been convinced that a life of sin is a fun life. These women, you ever talk to a woman that's a whore and you tell her that, having sex with more than one man is a sin. And, the Most High intended for a woman to be with one man. And that woman says to you, okay. You tell a woman a man can have more than one wife. And she says, well, can a woman have two husbands? That woman has a demon in her that makes her feel like if she accepts a man having another woman, she's missing out because she can't have two rods. When it's not the same thing. A woman should be happy to only have one man.
Right.
A woman in her right mind, a woman who understands the Lord, a woman who is coming to the truth, who's changed her life. When she finds out that having sex is marriage and the next man you lay down with should be the man you're with for the rest of your life, that should be good news to her. It should be an elation. It should be like a weight lifted off of her shoulders. You know how many women struggle with, if I have sex with this man, is he going to call me tomorrow? And there's a lot of women that's in the world single. They meeting men and they talking to them and going out on dates. And in this woman's mind, what she desperately wants is for this man to be the one.
Right.
You would think that the truth telling you the next man you have sex with is going to be your husband for life would be encouraging to a woman, would be something a woman would rejoice over, would be happy about. Instead, you tell a woman that you interested in, well, I believe sex is marriage, sis. So me and you get to go out and date and, we build with each other. If I lay you down, that's me committing to you for the rest of my life. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to turn my back on you. Now, I have other women. I have a wife. I got kids. I got, other women in my life. But if I choose to deal with you, you're going to be the only woman I deal with. This woman who desperately wants to be loved, that desperately wants to be with a man forever, hearing this man that she likes. I know she liked me because we out right now. I know she liked me because she gave me her number. I know she
Yeah.
liked me because she digging the vibe. She tell me I smell good. She like my crown. She like that my eye patch matched, my logo hanging up on the wall. I know
Looks
she
like
likes me.
right.
When I tell her, if I have sex with you, I'm going to be with you forever. If her response to that is, well, that ain't fair. Do I get to have two husbands? I know there's a demon in her that is convincing her that she's missing out.
Right.
If she accepts me having other women, but she can't have other men, she's missing out. And that's not fair and that's not right. And you're settling if you do that. I can't fight that demon in a woman. Let the demon keep you. You can stay with him because he's convinced you that you're better alone than being with a man, being with one man. When a woman says to you, can I have two husbands? Bitch, you can't even get one. Like, you're asking an impossible question to me. No, you can't have two husbands, bitch. That
Right.
would be in the picture. But if a woman could have two husbands, you still wouldn't get none because you can't even get one.
Right.
There's some people have a demon that fights them on what they're missing out on. You stop smoking weed and you go to the club and they smoking weed in the club. If you in the club feeling like, damn, I bet it's fun high right now. You got to know that demon is trying to convince you that you're missing out on something.
Right.
That's the demon. That's the serpent that came to Eve and said, surely you won't die. You'll become like a god. Be careful over that demon because it doesn't fight you on the front end of doing the right thing. It comes to you after you did the right thing and says, see, look at you, man, missing out. You could have had all this money. You could have had this and had that. That is a lie. You understand?
Okay.
The scripture we read, this is more to the point of Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief. Why would gaining wisdom cause you to grieve? Why would you, knowing what's right and what's wrong, knowing how you should be living, why would you having solutions to problems cause you grief? It causes grief because no one cares about your wisdom. The people who need your wisdom the most are going to ignore you. The people who need your wisdom the most are going to ask you, why are you so angry? Why are you saying the white man is the devil? Why are you yelling about Jesus was black? Who cares? Color doesn't matter. You're going to grieve having this wisdom because the people you try to give it to are going to reject it. The people that you try to help with this wisdom are going to ignore you. They're going to tell you you're crazy, and you're going to grieve because you're going to watch the people you love suffer because they would not accept the wisdom. You understand?
Okay.
The second part of the verse says, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. Why would gaining more knowledge cause you to be more sad? Why is it that the correlation between knowledge and sadness is like this on a graph? The more your knowledge goes up, the more your sadness goes down. Why is the Bible saying that? Why is it that when you increase in knowledge, you increase in sorrow? Because with the knowledge that you're given from the Lord, you're going to try and tell to people, this is what you're going to try to share this knowledge with people. Don't you know the white man is the devil? Don't you know we the chosen people of God? Don't you know that Christmas is not in the Bible? That Thanksgiving is not in the Bible? Don't you know that the Bible said we should celebrate Passover? We should celebrate the Feast of First Fruits. Don't you know the Bible is against interracial marriage? Don't you know in the Bible God said that a woman should not abort her baby? Don't you know in the Bible sex is marriage? You're going to tell that to people. You know what they're going to say? Man, you in a cult, man. Get out of here. You crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Not my Jesus. Not my God, but pastor said, and you're going to have to feel that you're going to feel bad because how stupid are these people that they don't want to hear this knowledge? How stupid are these people that they don't want to receive this wisdom? And you're going to have to watch people lose their lives.
Right.
I've been in the truth for some time. I watched Eric Garner get choked out and lose his life over Lucy cigarettes. And it hurt because I wish that brother knew the white man was the devil.
Right.
I watched, the tape of George Zimmerman complaining about Trayvon Martin saying these niggas always get away. And I wish that Trayvon Martin's father had never moved to that white neighborhood.
Right.
That way his son would get unalived for walking around with a hoodie and Skittles. I had to watch on the news Philando Castile get unalived in the car with his woman and his daughter because he tried to show the officer his gun pulled over on the side of the road. I wish the brother knew what we're taught in the ISUPK, to agree with your adversary while you're in the way so that the Lord can be with you.
Come.
I watch black people right now complaining about this voting right, complaining about, the Republicans is instituting Jim Crow. And I just wish they would hear the voice of the Lord crying in the wilderness to turn away from your oppressor and choose none of his ways. And because they will not hear the voice of the Lord, they're going to suffer. And watching them suffer is the worst part of being in the truth. Everybody understands?
Come.
Let's drop that. Let's get some more scriptures on this, right? On the having this truth and having this knowledge, and the people will not hear the Lord. You understand? Give me Amos 4:6.
Come. This is the book of Come. This is the book of Amos, chapter 4, verse 6. And I also have given you cleanness of teeth in all
No,
your cities.
Hosea 4:6.
Oh, Slagia, the one. I apologize, sir.
No sweat.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
You understand? The Bible says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Man, to watch black people argue over money, argue over reparations, argue over, resources from the state for the public schools, knowing that money is not what's wrong with the black community. A lack of the white man's education is not what's wrong with the black community. A lack of money for Jordans and weave and weed and pills is not what's plaguing the black community.
Right.
What's plaguing the black community is we do not have the knowledge of God. Right. We are watching our people be destroyed because they don't know that they should be serving the Lord. They don't know that they should be keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So we watch our people be destroyed. Why? For a lack of knowledge. But guess what? Is it because nobody is giving them knowledge? Is it because there's nobody to teach them knowledge? No. The knowledge is being presented. The knowledge is being taught. Our people reject knowledge. And because they reject knowledge, the Lord has rejected them. That survivor's remorse that you experience being in the truth, it's because the Lord chose you to accept him, and you did it. And all these other people, they have rejected the Lord.
Right.
And because they rejected the Lord has rejected them. Meaning what? If you choose to not obey the Lord, you're going to suffer. You choose to not obey the Lord, you're going to be punished. You choose to not obey the Lord, nothing good is going to happen to you, and nothing good is going to work out in your life, because the only thing that can make your life prosper is the Lord. Everybody understands?
Right.
Being in the truth makes you know that. Being in the truth, you have the knowledge of what's wrong with black people. You have the knowledge of why we're so destroyed. And you go to try to share that knowledge, and they reject you.
Right.
Everybody understands. And because they reject the knowledge of the Lord, you get to watch the consequences of the Lord rejecting them, rejecting our children. You understand? Right. The Lord said, you will be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will forget thy children. You see the children dying. You see the children suffering in the streets. You see the young kids being unalived with the gang violence. You watch the young kids going down the wrong path. Young boys and young girls choosing to be in the streets, choosing to smoke weed with their friends, choosing to, break into cars and to rob and to steal. And you sad knowing that they are in that condition because the Lord has rejected them. Is the Lord cruel? Did he reject us for no reason? No. We were given a chance to learn the truth. We were given a chance to know him, and we rejected him. Everybody understands?
Come.
Keep reading. Read the next two verses.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 7. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity.
Everybody understands. The Lord said, as we increased, so our sins against the Lord increased. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. All of the glory the Lord gave us as his people, all of the flavor, all of the wisdom, all of the abilities and the skills the Lord has given us, it's turned to shame.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I look at, you look at just all the talents and the gifts and the skills the Lord has given us. We're the number one in everything great on the earth. Number one singers, number one in basketball, football, number one in soccer and baseball, all the athletics. We're number one. We're the smartest, most intelligent. We, revolutionized the industrial revolution. You understand? We made all of the pioneering advancements in technology and in science and in the space program. And yet we're still the number one on, dying from AIDS and HIV, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, number one in poverty per capita, we're number one in abortions. All of the horrible things that are happening to us is because we rejected the Lord.
Right.
Because we refuse to hear knowledge. And as a result, the Lord is allowing us to be destroyed from the choices that we are making. To be someone in the truth, to be someone that knows what's wrong, and to watch our people suffer because of them rejecting the Lord, that's the worst part about being in the truth. Everybody understand?
Come.
Let's drop that. Let me get let's drop that. Let me get let's get Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9.
Come, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
You ever watch someone in the world that does not obey the Lord pray?
Yeah, come.
You ever watch the cat that's, caught a case and he's going to jail, but he's praying, the family's praying. You know that their prayers are not being heard. Why? Because the prayer, he that turn away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. And you sold drugs to your people. You hurt your people, unalived your people, did evil, cruel things against your own people. And you think that God is going to hear you to deliver you out of prison? Nah, man, the Lord ain't finna deliver you out. You going under the jail. I remember being young in the truth, man, and going to the funerals for cats I knew in the world that died, in the streets, died being a gangster. And you go to the funeral and you watch the people sad and his mama cry, and you watching all these people, feeling sorry for him, and you're just not emotional at all. And that's sad. That just really feeling indifferent because you looking at this cat in the casket knowing, damn, you died because you weren't fit to live. You died because you was a full out rebel against the Lord. You was the evilest nigga out here. And all these people that's with this fake crying and feeling bad for what? Why are they feeling bad? This is what happens to somebody who lives the life you live. This is what happens to somebody who does the things that you do. I remember being in the truth, looking in the casket at somebody I cared about, not feeling anything because the truth taught me that this is the punishment for sinners. And that is rough.
Come.
When you're not used to it, it can make you feel like, am I crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Am I just so cold-hearted? Yes, because you have that knowledge. You have that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I made the mistake one time. There was another cat that I knew we grew up with. This cat he got unalived and the drug deal gone bad. But this cat was like, he was cool. He was my man. He was cool, right? You know what I'm saying? It's my man. That's my nigga. But he was an
Okay.
absolute bully and a terror in the neighborhood where he lived. Like, he was the type of cat that would, you go go buy an ounce from him, bring your money, he'll rob you and give you, a quarter ounce or something. Hey, man, get up out my face. And then the cat is like, man, what the rest of the, hey, man, what I said, man, get up out of here, man. Don't make me have to pop you. Nigga, flash the gun. Don't make me have to pop you, bro. Take what you got and move on. And like, you watch this cat bully people and bully. I knew another cat. His brother was in love with this girl. Was in love with this girl, got her pregnant, man. This cat loved his broad. But he also he looked up to the cat that I'm talking about, the cruel cat. I remember the cruel nigga, man, was hitting this nigga girl, man, while he at work. Hitting this nigga girl. The nigga find out he hitting this girl. He come to him like, damn, bro, tell me, you know what I'm saying? What's I'm hearing about you hitting my shorty, man? Nigga like, man, look, bro, hoe choose, you know what I'm saying? What you want me to do, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be choosing hoes, bro. Don't be mad at me. And it's like, okay, the hoe a hoe. But this supposed to be your little nigga. Like, he look up to you, bro. You supposed to not hit the hoe and tell him about it. You supposed to warn him like, yo, bro, your girl, but you didn't. You hit the hoe. Then when he confronts you about it, you gonna punk him and little boy him like, yeah, nigga, so what? I hit the hoe. What you gonna do about it, nigga? You don't want to see me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do something about it? And it's like, man, this nigga that's cruel as hell. You know what I'm saying? The same nigga get killed. And we supposed to feel bad about it? Nah, man, why feel bad about that shit? I remember they all posted online about the nigga, man. Because, okay, at the time when he died, he had been rapping. He had been rapping for like a year. And he was about to blow up. Like, he had started doing little features on local niggas' show. And we all know, like, we all grew up together. So we like, man, the nigga finna blow up. He finna blow. And then he get killed. And when he got killed, it was messed up because it was like, damn, the dream is dead now, right? I get that part. I get everybody was sad because he could have been successful and all of that. But this was a cruel, evil nigga. This wasn't no nigga that feel bad about dying. And I remember him dying and everybody on the internet crazy, crying and all these nice things about him. And I remember on Facebook, I came on there and was like, I'm in the truth, so I'm trying to drop some wisdom. And I think I shared about the day of one's death is better than the one's life. And I'm like, all these posts I'm seeing, everybody crying about this cat, Craig. Let's just say his name was Craig. Y'all crying about Craig when y'all know Craig was an evil nigga, man. Craig was robbing niggas, man, bullying niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's only so long niggas gonna just keep being punked. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to the niggas, what happened to niggas that's bullies and punks? We should all learn from this and not be like him. I couldn't go around my old neighborhood for like 2-3 years. Cause the nigga's sister came on the post and was like, nigga, what you wouldn't say that shit to my brother's face. This and like and I get it. She had every right to be upset. I'm talking down on the dead man. I get it. She mad. But somebody had to tell the truth about this nigga. Like, what are we talking about? It's an evil niggas. It's like a cat that's a horrible, evil murderer in the neighborhood go to jail and niggas wearing free him shirts. Like, nah, don't free that nigga. He need to be in jail. He was absolute terror, robbing niggas' grandmas and everything. He don't need to be free. But that's the worst part of being in the truth. I guess you got wisdom and knowledge, but to share it, the people hate it. To hear the truth, the people hate it. To hear, and again, going directly to the scripture we read now, to watch someone who you know is evil and wicked pray or try to, pray out their situation is like, God is not hearing that shit. Excuse my language. The Lord is not about to hear your prayers because you are the evilest person alive. Not the evilest person, but you're an evil bastard. And somebody who turns their ear away from hearing the Lord, even their prayers, an abomination. Read it one more time.
Sir, the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
Now think about the people that pray over pork. Pray over their shrimp and their, crab dinner. think of a woman that got, PCOS or, some horrible disease that these black people be getting, and they praying God that it go away, praying God will heal them. And you got to look at them and say, and know to yourself, God is not going to heal you or hear your prayer, because you are absolutely disgusting and will do nothing he said to do. Why would God come to help you when you don't do anything he said to do? You don't listen to him at all. You reject everything that he's trying to tell you. You think that now when things go bad, you'll pray and they'll get better. They will not get better. You understand what I'm saying? That's not an easy thing to do. As I'm describing it now, I recognize that I've been in the truth so long that I don't even care anymore. It doesn't even matter. Whether somebody obeys the Lord or does not obey the Lord, I don't even care. But it's my job and my responsibility as a priest to tell you what the Lord said, to tell you what's right and wrong. Whether you listen, I don't feel anything about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's you know what I'm saying? That's rough. It's rough for me, being who I am, to even acknowledge that I don't care what happens to somebody that doesn't obey the Lord. It's not that I'm angry or I'm mad or I hate them. I just don't care. It just doesn't matter to me, because it's not. I'm not the one that made these laws. I'm not the one that's going to carry out any judgment. I just have to speak to warn you. I just have to say what the Lord gave me to say. But whether you listen or not, I don't care. And I've watched many people come into the truth and be told things, and they don't listen, and their life gets destroyed or they die. And then I just don't care. Shit, the Lord tried to warn them. I remember, I'm saying this to y'all because I remember being young in the truth and caring. I remember when I was young in the truth up in Philly, man, there was some brothers that was, used to talk real bad about brothers in the school and talk bad about the way things were in the truth. And they always had opinions about different shit. And I was young in the truth, and I used to hang with these brothers at the camp or at the class and drink and talk. And because I'm young in the truth, I don't know what their experience is. I don't know what they've been through, but I know what we all taught. And I know we all taught that if you got an issue with a brother, go between you and him. If you got a problem, just pull that man aside and speak to him. And I used to listen to these grown-ass men complain about other brothers and say to them, why don't you just talk to him? Just put him to the side. Why are you telling me? I'm not going to fix this shit for you. You niggas are tripping. And this is one thing I would say I thank the Lord for. Even before the truth, I was my own man. I have my own thoughts, my own opinions, and you can think what you think, and that's cool, but it ain't going to affect me. I'm not going to be, peer pressured and agreeing with some shit that I don't agree with. So as I would hang with these brothers, I could hang with these brothers that's older than me and listen to what they saying and still be like, nigga, that's dumb. And so I would hang with these older men in the truth and hear them talking crazy and be like, yo, y'all niggas are out of pocket. Why don't you just go talk to the brother? Go say something. And niggas be like, nah, man, you don't even know, man. You can't. I had a nigga tell me you could not win no counsel with a general. And the nigga said this as he was telling me that he remembers a time when niggas didn't even have rank. He was like, man, I remember niggas ain't even had no rank. We was all just learning from General Yohana, man. We was just trying to get right with the Lord. Niggas wasn't no generals and captains. We was all just officers. Niggas ain't even had no numbers in they rank. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing him, and then he talked about, we telling me how when niggas got their ranks and started this and that, and this shit changed. And as I'm saying it, as I'm hearing him say it, I'm realizing that he's of all the men that he came up with in the truth, he was the lowest rank. And as he's saying this to me, I'm saying, well, there's a reason why you low rank. Look at you. This is how you talk. You ain't no nigga that you shouldn't have no rank, because you wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. It's good that you're a 50 and have no authority, because you are talking crazy. Long story short, it was just these two specific brothers I'm talking about right now that used to talk crazy. They're not in the school no more. But there were other brothers you know, a lot that were in the school at that time that's not here. And I remember as men started to lead the school, I used to ride with Captain Todd Ward a lot when I lived in Philly because I didn't drive. And ride was nice with me, and Captain Todd Ward would be hanging, man, drinking and just chilling. And I would ask him different stuff, man. You know, sir, what so and so, man, brother falling. And Captain Todd Ward used to be like, man, sock, fuck them niggas, man. Like, man, if a nigga, man, you know, nigga been with us, man, riding in that van, man, went through Hebrew Academy, man, nigga stand out on that corner. Man, I don't give a fuck what happened. If a nigga leave us after that, fuck that nigga, man. I don't think about them niggas, sock. I don't give a fuck what happened to them niggas. And I remember being young in the truth, thinking to myself, like, damn, that's cold, bro. Like, why? How do you not care about this? How do you not give a fuck? It's in my head, like, how do you just not care? Like, I love these niggas, man. I went to war with these niggas, battle with these niggas, and he's trying to tell me what I'm telling y'all now. He didn't use these words that I'm using, right? But I was vexed that I was watching men fall out of the truth. Men I looked up to, men that were over me, men that I called sir. And I'm watching niggas get weak. I'm watching niggas not coming to class. I'm watching niggas missing camps. And I'm asking, man, what's going on with bro? And he's like, man, fuck that nigga. And I'm like, damn, what you mean? I'm like, it's crazy to say fuck him. He wanted us. Captain Todd Ward explained to me at that time, you're gonna watch many men lead this truth, huh? And he was like, this is what he explained. He said to me, I cannot be worried about a nigga that sat in this van with us, that took these trips to DC, took these trips to New York, went to these camps with us, battled on the street with us, did all of this, and then the nigga just decided that we wasn't worth it and he left. Like, that nigga is he's the what's the word I'm looking for? When somebody dismisses themselves or somebody runs off, he's deserting us. Captain Todd Wolf said, man, them niggas are deserting us, son. They know we still getting in that van. They know we still going to them camps, and that nigga just choosing to do something else. Fuck that nigga, man. I can't worry about that nigga. And as he was telling it to me, I was understanding that these men that I'm caring about, that I'm watching fall out the truth, that I'm feeling bad about, they don't give no fucks about us. The love I have for him is not being reciprocated, because I love this nigga because we went to camp together. We battled together. We had drinks together. He doesn't give a fuck about that. He's throwing all of that out the window. He's not acknowledging it. He doesn't mean anything to him. So why would you care about a nigga that's showing you he don't give a fuck about anything that you've been through with him? And I didn't get it then, but I'm getting it now. Like, you become cold to men falling out the truth. You become cold to people leaving. And you learn to just not feel anything about it. Feeling good or bad. Like, I don't care. That's difficult. Everybody understands.
Okay.
And when I'm describing to you all about brothers in the truth, sisters, y'all may get it, may not get it. But think of the people in your life who you love, that you want them to hear the truth. They don't love you enough to hear the truth. Those people who you love, they don't love you enough to come serve the Lord with you. Your love is one-sided. You got family in the world that you want them to hear this beautiful truth. You want them to hear this knowledge and this wisdom. You love them and want them to serve the Lord. They do not love you enough to serve the Lord.
Okay.
They don't love you the way you love them. You care about them, so you tell them, stop celebrating Christmas, man. Thanksgiving is the white man celebrating the death of the Native Indians, man. 4th of July, 1776, we were still in slavery. We shouldn't celebrate that. Those people who you love look at you and say, nigga, you crazy. We got a day off. We finna barbecue. Fuck that shit you talking about. They do not love you like you love them. And you have to accept it. You're going to have to accept that they are going to get hurt and they are going to get destroyed and horrible things are going to happen to them. And it's going to be because they did not love the Lord the way you did. Because they would not give up the things they wanted in the world to serve the Lord, so they're going to suffer. Everybody understands?
Okay.
Drop that. Let me get stay in Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs chapter 1. Let's get verse 20. Proverbs 1 and 20. Proverbs 1 and 24.
Come, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 24. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
The Lord said, because I called and you refused, because I stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Meaning what? The Lord called, and we did not accept his calling.
Come.
The Lord reached out his hands, and we did not accept the Lord's reaching out. The Lord calling us and the Lord reaching his hand is you talking to people in the world about the truth. You telling your mama to stop celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas. You telling your mama to stop eating pork and eating shrimp. You telling your kids that, we're not celebrating Christmas no more. You telling your kids to stay out of the streets, trying to get your children to never smoke weed. That's the voice of the Lord calling. That's the hand of the Lord reaching out. Does everybody understand that?
Come.
The people that know you in your life, you are the one the Lord used to reach out to them. You are the one the Lord used to call them, and they did not regard the call. The Lord used you to reach out to them to come to class, man. Tune in. They said, nah, man, I'm good on all that. They dismissed the Lord's reaching out. You understand?
Come.
Keep reading. Verse 26 says, but ye have set at not all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. The Lord has used us to give counsel to people in the world. They didn't know it was counsel, but it was counsel. Some of them didn't know that it was the Lord speaking to them, but the Lord used you to say, man, listen, man, you got to put that shit down. Now, don't do that no more, man. Don't go there, man.
Right.
Listen, man, you talk to your daughter, man. Listen, baby, you got to, you're moving too fast. You're dealing with these men and you got these kids, and baby, you should just stay out the streets. Leave these men alone. She don't want to listen. She want to be a hoe, man. She want to go get fast money and do it big. You got a son. You say, come on, boy, get out them streets, man. Listen, it's nothing but pain out there. It's nothing but, destruction out there for you, man. Stay out the streets. And that boy think he know what he doing. He grown. He going to do what he want to do. He want to go be in the streets and play and do hood rat stuff with his hood rat friends. You understand? That mama you talk to about the Christmas and the pork and the shrimp, she don't want to hear you. You understand? And so what happens as a result of them not taking the Lord's correction, not hearing the Lord's reproof? What happened eventually? What happens to everybody that rejects the Lord? What happens to everybody that won't take heed to the Lord warning them? Read.
Kind of the one kind. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
The Lord said, I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. You understand? The same way the Lord uses us to reach out, the same way the Lord uses us to speak his word and to give them correction. When horrible things happens to them, when they don't listen, guess what? The Lord is there to mock them. The Lord is there to laugh at your calamity. Now, being in the truth, we honorable, righteous men. We're not going to laugh in your face. We're not going to rub it in because it wasn't us that warned you. But you will see someone have something horrible happen, and you'll say, try to warn them, try to tell them. Man, they play with the Lord, man. I had a saying I used to say all the time. I don't say it no more. But I used to say some lessons are learned harder than others. Like you go against the Lord, you're going to learn a lesson. Some lessons are learned harder than others. Some lessons, you end up in jail. Some lessons, you lose your wife. You might lose your kids don't want to deal with you no more. Some lessons, you might get put on child support, man. It's cutting into your money. Some lessons will cost you your life out. Some lessons will cost you 5 years in prison, 10 years in prison. Some lessons will cause you to miss your children growing up. And, there's some lessons that's learned harder than others. The Lord has reached out to everyone that you have ever known suffered something horrible. The Lord reached out to them. The Lord called them and they rejected. So when the horrible, evil thing happens to them that you tried to warn them about, the Lord says he will laugh at your calamity. He will mock when your fear comes because you should have known better. I tried. This is not a literal ha ha ha. That's what you get. It's a scoff. It's a what you thought was going to happen. What did you think you was going to? What was your reward going to be for evil, doing evil against the Lord, for sinning against the Lord? You thought he was going to reward you? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Are you a fool? Are you a clown? And guess what? The Lord doesn't have happy words for someone who sins. The Lord doesn't. I remember being younger than Truth. I did some evil and I called to get counsel. Called General Muhammad because I did the evil and I was in my car feeling, crying, feeling like I was going to die because I did this horrible thing. And I called General Muhammad and I confessed to him what I did. And I thought that he was going to say, brother, I'm glad you called. I don't know what I thought there was going to be, but I thought there was going to be some comforting, some, remorse, some type of, it's all right, brother, you got to be better. I thought I was going to get that. I got a check-in from General Muhammad that was the worst. I can't really describe how horrible he talked to me.
Go.
And the fear of the words that he spoke to me, it was something I can't describe, but it was like, I never want to hear this ever again. Right. I never want to do anything ever that I got to get talked to like this. It traumatized me to where I'll never do that shit again in my life because it wasn't, again, these weren't General Muhammad's words. These were the Lord's words. It damn near was like it wasn't even General Muhammad I was talking to. The nigga on the other end of the phone was not the General Muhammad I no more. It was somebody else talking to me, and the blazing that I got, and I'm trying, I cannot describe this. It wasn't a disrespect. It wasn't like, yeah, nigga, it was like from the Lord cutting into my soul that you are going to die doing this shit. You think it's a joke. You think it's a fucking game. You think the Lord is playing with you. You've taken an oath and dedicated your life, and he's giving you a chance to learn the truth, and you're going to go sin. It was one of them. It did something to my spirit to where I will never be in this place again. And I've stuck to that. I've stuck to that. The rest of my life in the truth, I've stuck to, I will never sin a sin that gets me talked to like this again. That's what you need when you sin against the Lord. You don't need comforting. You don't need, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. That's what you get. And it's going to be worse next time. You really shouldn't even have made it out that time. You shouldn't even survive this go round. But the Lord is merciful and long suffering, and he saw fit for you not to have your life taken. But no, next time you are going to die. You are not going to make it. We're not going to have this phone call. And it's like, that's the Lord mocking when your fear cometh. That's the Lord laughing at your calamity, the checking, the correction that you receive. He tried to correct you nicely. He tried to warn you. Don't do that, man. Listen, it's a better way. There's a better path. But then once you go through with the evil and you do the horrible thing and you in pain and you're suffering, you're not going to get sweet words. You're not going to get sympathy or pity. You're going to get mocked and laughed at. And you're going to know that is exactly what you deserve because you refuse to hear the word of the Lord. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I would not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that for they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would none of my counsel. They have despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices.
There you go. You stop right there. The Lord said, when your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, Meaning what? That fear and that destruction is going to come quick. You're going to be in the midst of your evil, in the midst of your sin, and it's going to destruction going to come out of nowhere. I've watched it happen. I watched it happen where people leave the truth out, and you turn around and they in jail, or you turn around and they dead, and you're like, man, what happened? That's the Lord. That fear and that destruction, that desolation, that comes quick. You understand? And when it comes, you can't, please, Lord, you can't, take this away from me. Lord, heal me. Lord, nah, it's too late now. And there's nothing worse than somebody who was warned and choose to sin anyway, trying to, beg forgiveness. It's like, Lord be with you. It ain't my business. It's the Lord's business. But I can imagine with the Lord, it's the Lord is better than us. The Lord is merciful and long suffering, and He, gives us opportunities He's patient with us and allowing us to make mistakes and correcting us and putting men in our lives to chastise us and to check us, to help us to understand and to realize the ways we're living is wrong and the things we're doing is wrong. I'm just a man. I can't feel, bad or sad for you when you chose to go against the Lord. You chose to do this horrible thing. And now the Lord is paying you for it. And you should accept, you should just take the pain, take the punishment, accept whatever the Lord sees fit for you to have to suffer and go through because you saw fit to go against Him and go against His counsel. And I pray the Lord will be with you. I pray the Lord will help you to bounce back and get it right. But that's between you and the Lord. Everybody understands.
Come.
Read Proverbs 1:29 one more time.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 29. For they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord.
Because we hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. There are people in your life who are going to hate knowledge, and they are not going to choose the fear of the Lord. So you know what happens when somebody hates knowledge and does not choose the fear of the Lord? The Lord got to make them afraid. The Lord got to have something horrible happen to them so that they will be afraid. The hardest part of being in the truth is trying to warn someone that the Lord is going to make them hurt. The Lord is going to make them suffer, and they do not listen to your warning, and they have to go hurt and suffer anyway.
Okay.
Because you got to watch it knowing that it would have been so much easier on them if they would have just listened. It would have been so much easier on them if they would have just did what the Lord said to do. Everybody understands?
Okay.
Let's drop that. Give me hold on. Hold on. Okay, that's not it. Hold on, bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
Let's get Mark chapter 6, verse 34. Get Mark 6 and 34.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 34. And Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep, not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things.
You understand? Christ experienced what it is I'm talking about today. Christ, when he came out among his people and saw the condition that they were in and saw how destroyed and misguided they were, It said he was moved to compassion. You understand? Moved to compassion because they were like sheep with no shepherd. That's the, increasing in knowledge, increasing in sorrow. That's the increasing in wisdom, increasing in grief. To see your people suffering, to see your people in hell, knowing that they are in that condition because they don't have shepherds, because they haven't been taught the truth. They haven't been, there's no one telling them the right thing. It's one thing for someone to be destroyed knowing the truth. It's another thing for someone to be destroyed and never got a chance to hear it. Everybody understands?
Come on.
That's why the work that we do in the ISUPK is so important. There are brothers and sisters that would obey the Lord if they heard the truth. They would obey the Lord if they knew what obeying the Lord meant. There's people that think obeying the Lord is going in church on Sunday and beating the tambourine and singing and dancing and catching the Holy Ghost. You understand? I know. I feel like I said this yesterday. I might have been saying this same thing for the last week or two. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong that these people in the church would serve the Lord if they heard the truth. I could be absolutely incorrect. They could just be loving the dance and sing and would never stop eating pork or shrimp. But the Lord says that the blood is going to be on the hands of those who did not warn them. Like, we are so strange to people in the church because they've been lulled to sleep by lying bastards in suits. We come out on the street, people say we're so harsh and so mean because they think men of God are them sodomites, them child molesters in the church.
Right.
They've never seen real men of God. So when they see men of God, they like, oh, now y'all crazy. Y'all in the cult. No, we're not. No, we're not. We are the men of God. Right. Christ was moved with compassion because he saw his people destroyed, knowing they had no shepherds. Guess what? You're going to be moved to compassion too. You're going to feel something for these people who you watch suffer horribly under our oppressor because they would not choose to serve the Lord. There's some people you're going to see destroyed and know it's because they don't have no knowledge. Then there's other people you're going to see destroyed because they rejected knowledge. Either way, it's difficult. It's hard. It's a rough thing to grow cold to. There's a term they use in the medical industry. I know there's a couple of sisters in the chat that work in the medical industry. They call it compassion fatigue. You understand? When you are a bedside nurse, you work in nursing and you work in like a trauma unit where patients coming in, gunshot wounds, car accidents, kid fell off a balcony, you know what I'm saying? Nigga got body slammed through a table, broke his neck. You see certain traumas, certain injuries that come through the hospital. You work in the hospital so long enough, you'll grow to not feel anymore about these people that come in with their body parts hanging out. They call it compassion fatigue, where you've been so emotionally drained by some of the horrible things you see that you don't even care anymore. It doesn't even bother you. Well, that's what some of us experience in the truth, to where you can't feel bad anymore. You can't feel for anymore because you understand this is the Lord's business. This is above me. It's out of my hands. I'm just a vessel the Lord is using to warn and to teach and to counsel. But I don't, it's whether it succeeds or fails, it doesn't make any difference to me. I want to see you win. I want to see you do everything great and amazing. If you choose to go against that, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it. I'm not going to miss anything. I'm going to go love my family and I'm going to make more babies. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get more wives and get more glory. And that's what I chose. I chose to obey the Lord. Whatever you choose to do is on you. Just know that the Lord going to do what he does regardless. Everybody understands. Let's jump that. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. Jeremiah 28 and 8. This is the life of a prophet. This is what the Lord chose the prophets to do. And you go in this Bible, if you really read this Bible and study the book of Jeremiah, the book of Ezekiel, the book of Daniel, the book of Nehemiah and Ezra and Habakkuk and Obadiah, these men's lives were not easy. These men's lives were not all peaches and cream, and they were not glorified and raised up for the job that the Lord chose them to do. A lot of these prophets faced absolute rejection and hell and hatred from the very people that God sent them to, because those people did not want to do what the Lord said to do. And
Right.
because they did not do what the Lord said to do, the job of the prophets was to prophesy horrible things. Was to tell the prophets didn't come and tell the people, man, everything gonna be all right. God gonna love us. We're gonna be united in the clouds, and our King is gonna come, and we're gonna live deliciously and wonderfully. That's not in the Bible. What's in the Bible is the Lord is going to destroy us. We're going to go into captivity. Our blood is going to run in the streets. Our wives are going to be, taken by the heathens. Our sons are going to be destroyed. Our daughters are not going to be protected. That's the job of the men of the Lord. The job of the men of the Lord is not to tell you things that make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. I wish that was my job. I wish that the Lord chose me to prophesy good things. I wish the Lord chose me to tell you everything is going to be all right. I wish the Lord chose me to tell you you're doing good. Keep pushing. That's not the job. That's not what the Lord raised us up to do. That's
Right.
not what God's people need to hear. This is the job that God raised prophets up to do, which makes this job difficult. Read Jeremiah 28:8.
Come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
The prophets prophesied of love and good things. Read that last part again.
And against kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
The prophets prophesied about God healing everybody and all your illness is going away and everybody getting rich. Read it again.
And against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
God prophesied that one day Jesus is going to return and we all going to get kisses in the mouth and hold hands and sing Negro spirituals. Read it again.
And against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
God prophesied that after Donald Trump, everything going to be all right, and we're going to unite as a one country under God and come together, and all racism and evil is going to disappear, and everything is going to be just fine. The American dream is going to be realized. Read.
And against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
The men of the Lord were sent out to prophesy against great countries and great kingdoms of war and pestilence. And what's the other one? And evil. That's our job. Our job is to warn you of pestilence and evil and destruction if you do not turn back to the Lord.
Right.
You can choose, and we get hated for it. They don't want to hear us speaking. They don't want to hear what we got to say, and we standing there like, this is love. This is what you've been missing. You've been missing somebody to warn you, somebody to tell you the truth.
Right.
It's the worst part of this job is not knowing that I'm saying the right thing, but seeing the people hate me for saying the right thing. It's a mind-boggling thing. Makula, how much time do we put into this job? I know me personally, I teach 2-hour classes a week, 3 on a good week. If Muhammad that day Thursday, right? You know how many hours I take to edit these videos? I do the editing for my videos for this class. I go back and watch these classes 2 hours over and over again, and take this time mark and that time mark and divide it and split it up and put the title on there, and then I get to upload it and wait for it to do. And so I spend another 8 hours for every class I teach. So it's 2 hours for the class, another 8 hours on the videos and the breakdowns. That's 10 hours a class. That's 20 hours a week. To warn you that God is going to destroy you. to warn you that America is falling. To warn you that voting is not for us. To warn you that the white man is the devil. You know what the reward is for that? Do you know what we get for that? Nothing.
It's like the other one.
Go ahead.
If I could say you were being kind of kind, because that's just doing the videos. You ain't talking about going to camp and doing the other things or like going out.
Listen, I'm finna get in the car tomorrow and drive 7 hours to Oklahoma from Memphis.
Yeah,
I'm
that
going to
Chloe
Oklahoma
Christian
City
say.
because the brother's got an event. I'm about to drive now. The money for this. That's my money that's getting that rental vehicle. Shout out to the
Come.
brothers and sisters in the ISUK Memphis school. They came together with the CAM fund, get them a hand. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
They get the gas money and the food money for me, but I got to rent a vehicle. I got to drive by myself 7 hours to Oklahoma. And I want to do it. I'm happy to do it. I'm looking
Right.
forward to it. I get to get on the road by myself for 7. I can't wait just to go and tell people the white man is the devil for them to hate me. I get to go to another place I've never been and see the frowned up faces of the people because we telling them, yeah, these white people are the devil.
Right.
Yeah, warning them of what the Lord going to do if we don't change, if we don't turn back to him. It's not an easy job. It's not. It's the hardest part is the actual when the Lord is using us as vessels. We're saying things that nobody wants to hear.
Right.
We're saying things that people are going to be mad at, and in their being mad and in their not wanting to hear it, we have to accept that these people are going to suffer because they are rejecting the prophets of God. You know how many people know us, know you, and refuse to acknowledge that you are a prophet of God?
Right, come.
I got niggas in my family that still won't call me Soccer War. Last July, me and Captain Yagarwap went back to DC for a family reunion. We ain't been with our family in 15 years. We get back there. These niggas know who we are. They know our names. They just kept calling us by our slave names. And I was going to accept it because, these my uncles, my cousins. Fucking, I'm just, But Yagarwap could not handle it. Yagarwap snapped and said, man, stop calling that nigga. Stop calling him that, man. That's Soccer War. Man. That's a priest of the Lord, man. Call him Soccer War. Y'all know his name. Why y'all keep calling him that? I'm just standing there, you know what I'm saying? And they like, man, Uncle so. He like, nah, man, he's Soccer War and I'm Yagarwap, man. Stop calling me something. Don't call me Uncle something no more. Next one of y'all do it, like, I'm gonna take it disrespect and we're gonna have to fight. Don't call me that no more. And I'm thankful that he was there to voice it because I was gonna swallow it. I was going to stomach it for the sake of being around my family, Marco. I was going to just let them keep calling me by my slave name. You know what I'm saying? God could not handle it, Doc. But guess what? Soon as we left, everybody still calling me my slave name. I called an uncle the other day. One of my cousins, my uncle's cousins, posted pictures of them when they was younger on the internet. And I see my uncle in the picture. I'm laughing. I called him up. Hey, Shalom, Uncle, what's going on? He was like, who this? Someone said my slave name. And I was like, yeah, Uncle, it's me. What's up, man? He was like, oh, man, what's going on with you? I was like, man, I seen the pictures Mike posted up. He was like, yeah, you saw them? Yeah, I sent them to him last night, man. We was tripping out, man. We get to reminiscing, but it's like, the nigga couldn't even just say, let's talk about, like, he had to just, and it's like, all right, my nigga. No, so like, that's the worst part, dog. That's the hardest thing about this life. And nobody gets it. Nobody understands it. And it's like a couple more scriptures before I close out the class, but I can't imagine these scriptures we about to read. I can't imagine Christians reading them and thinking it's about them. I cannot imagine a Christian reading these scriptures we about to get and thinking that God, that they can relate to it. You have no fucking idea. Christian, you cannot relate to these scriptures. You do not. God is not talking to you because you have not dealt with what we have dealt with because we have actually done the job. We've done the work of the Lord. Who gets mad at hearing Christians? Who gets mad at God loves everybody besides us? Who gets mad at, Jesus is coming for us all besides us? Who gets mad? So Christians aren't hated for what they teach. Christians are hated because they're doing all the evil. they're hypocrites. Christians are hated because they're not the people of the Bible. Like, Christians aren't persecuted because of what they teach. They persecuted because you're teaching all that, but then bombing countries, teaching that, and then sexually violating children, teaching all that, and then bringing drugs in the country and prostitutes and all the horrible things that Christians do. Christians aren't persecuted for their beliefs. They persecuted for their hypocrisy. You know who's persecuted for their beliefs? The men and the women in the ISUPK.
Come.
We the ones that get persecuted for what we believe, for the knowledge that we possess, for the wisdom that we've obtained. You know what I will not do anymore, Makola? You know what I stopped doing? I will never argue with another nigga about the Shield of David ever in my life. If I hear another nigga say this, the Star Rim fan or the Star Molech, I might blow my fucking lid out. I don't have the patience to explain that to anybody anymore. I'm done. It's your turn, Makola. You can explain it to him.
It's like it's
about the Shield of David. I'm gonna say it's a brother in Atlanta named Makola. He can answer it for you. That brother will break it down. It's your turn. You got to give them the wisdom of the Shield of David. I'm not. If I gotta tell another nigga that the Star Molech is a man and not a fucking drawing on a paper, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's your turn. You better suffer that now. Look, I watched Captain Tazaryak battle over Jesus is not God. I can't do that battle no more. I'm not battling another nigga over Jesus is God ever in life. Captain Tazaryak is made for it. He love it. He do a good job. I will cuss them out. And it'll be a 10-minute debate because about 2 minutes through that nigga's round, I'm going to say, you fucking clown, you idiot. Don't you know when the back? I just don't have the patience, dog. I don't have the gift for it. You understand what I'm saying? I done got off track. So, like, we're going to tell these people things that they do not want to hear, and we have to accept that this is the Lord's business and it's not ours. It ain't personal that they reject us and don't want to hear what we have to say. Everybody understand? Right. And let me drop that. Let's get these next two scriptures sums up the way that we live. Sums up the hardest part of this work. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 10 and verse 11.
Come, sir. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 10.
Matter of fact, read verse 9. Read Isaiah 30 and 9 and just read on down to verse 11. Let you read the whole thing through.
Okay, come, sir. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto as right things, speak unto as smooth things, prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, because the Holy One of Israel to cease from before it's like as I can't aim me last. It's just like we wicked as hell.
Look, this the hardest part of this job is we gonna go to a people and give them the word of God, and they gonna say, "Nigga, get out of the way. Stop with all of this telling us the truth. Right. Stop with all this warning us about God gonna punish us. Tell me something good, nigga. Tell me something that make me feel better." I had a brother recently called me for counsel, and I gave a brother the counsel he needed, and the brother got mad at me and said, "Man, how dare you tell me that? I don't need you to beat me down. I need you to lift me up." And I'm like, I'm saying you asked for counsel. I'm giving it to you. No, man, you're supposed to tell me I'm doing better, man. You're supposed to acknowledge how far I've come. Nigga, that's not what the fuck you called me for. You called me and asked me, how do you get better? And I told you what to do. You've been telling me that for 5 years. I know, nigga, because you ain't followed it yet. It's been 5 years. Your problem has been the same problem. You mad that I'm telling you what the problem is every time? I don't know if I should call you for counsel no more. Don't call then, nigga. But I'm going to tell you what the Lord said.
Right.
You mad at me that the answer is the answer, nigga? It ain't my answer. It's God's answer. You want the Lord to tell you what to do. This is it. I can't hold you and support you and big you up. You ain't did shit worth being bigged up about. You ain't did shit to be acknowledged. You ain't done nothing. This brother mad at me and angry. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You not mad at me. You mad at the Lord.
Right.
You're not angry at my response. You're angry at the Lord. That's the Lord's response. You
Right.
gotta fight that shit, nigga. Everybody gotta fight it. I don't care that you don't like it. We are so weak in that we just want to be told something good. We just want to be told, we want to be told something that's gonna make us feel better. I ain't got nothing to make you feel better, my nigga. If you're not comforted by the truth, if you're not comforted by the Lord telling you that if you fight, I will fight with you, and then I don't know what to tell you. You might have to go get you a tambourine. Like you might have to go back in that church and dance and sing them churchy songs and catch that Holy Ghost. I remember when he was young. Michael, I don't know what your Hebrew Academy experience was like, but I remember being out there in the field. General Muhammad used to say to us, and I'm gonna be vulgar for a moment. General Muhammad used to say, "There is a tambourine and a dick waiting for you in the church."
Mm.
You don't want to be out here in this field, Doc. You do not have to be out here in this field. It's cold out here. I don't know about you, Michael. Our Hebrew Academy was in the wintertime. Nigga, we in the mud, in the dirt, stretching and doing push-ups.
Right.
And General Muhammad just would calmly just, hey, so like y'all, any of y'all brothers, man, don't want to do this out. There's a tambourine and a dick waiting for you. I don't know about you, Michael, but I'm not going to the tambourine and the dick. I'm staying right here and serving the Lord. Salakia.
Right.
Some brothers, you might need to go get the tambourine and the penis in the pulpit waiting for you. There's a lot of it going around. But in here, all we got for you is the word of the Lord. All we got is the truth. You understand? And if you mad at that, it's because you are rebellious. It's because you have a demon in you that causes you to you want to be lied to. You want to be sold a dream. We're not in the job of dream selling. We're not in the business of telling you lies. We're in the business of speaking the word of the Lord, and you do with it what you see fit. You do with it how you want to deal with it. But I'm going to do my job, and it's not an easy job to do, but it's one that I do without any care of how it's received. That's not my job. The Lord ain't choose me to care about how you feel. The Lord didn't choose me to be worried about how you receive it. The Lord chose me to tell you the truth.
Right.
And you can do with that what you feel. Whether you accept it or not, just know that I don't care. Just know that I'm not going to feel anything about it. I won't think twice. It's not going to be on my mind as I lay in the bed. I'm going to say my prayers with my daughter and my wife like I always do, and I'm going to sleep, and I'm going to sleep good, and I'm going to get up, and I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow that I did today, which was serve the Lord. Everybody understand?
Right.
You brothers and sisters are going to have to learn to do the same thing. You're going to have to learn to accept that the hard part of this life is watching and knowing people who are going to reject it, and you're going to have to watch them be destroyed and not take it personally. Because that's not why the Lord chose you. Everybody understands? Last scripture, then we can close the class out. Get me John chapter 15, verse 18.
John chapter 15. This is the book of John, chapter 15. Verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
If the world hates you, just know that it hated Christ before it hated you.
Right.
Anybody mad about us teaching the truth? Anybody mad about the word of the Lord that we have to give them? Anybody that, uncomfortable or unfulfilled with what the priest of the Lord got to offer them? It doesn't bother me. You're not hating me. You're hating Christ.
Right.
You're not mad at me. You're mad at the Most High. Your beef ain't with me. Your beef is with the one who sent me.
Right.
You understand? It's important that we all accept that this is part of the job. Part of this life is being hated because other people cannot live this life. Part of this life is being hated because people see their failures in your successes. There are people in your life who see you changing and serving the Lord, and they pray that you fail. They pray that you fall. They pray that every horrible thing happens to you because you gave your life to God. And you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to succeed. God damn it. You're going to have to win. You're going to have to stand with the Lord and get the victory and get to rejoice and get to know that they prayed evil on you and the Lord rewarded them with your success. Remember Psalms 23, David said, the Lord rewardeth me. The Lord prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. Right now, for all of us in the truth, the Lord is preparing a table for us. The Lord is preparing a feast for us, and we are going to eat and drink in the face of our enemies. While they are being destroyed, we are going to be glorified and lifted up. But we do not get that if we don't endure being hated. If we don't endure being rejected. If we don't endure these people in our lives who we love, that we try to correct and give the truth to, if we don't endure them rejecting us, then we don't get that table where we get to eat and drink before our enemies. The Lord said, David said, the Lord prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies, and my cup runneth over. There's a feast coming where the drinks are going to be poured so heavily that your cup runs over. You're going to say, stop, that's enough. He's going to say, Salakia, sir, you ain't drinking fast enough. Salakia, sis, you ain't drinking fast enough. You ain't rejoicing enough that we overcame. You're not rejoicing enough that the Lord has set this table for you in the presence of your enemies. Just know that the time is going to come where the Lord is going to reward us for choosing him, and everybody that chose the other way is going to be there to watch us eat and drink and be rejoiced that the Lord is rewarding us. The same people that want to see you fall, they're going to see you rise and succeed, and you're going to eat and drink in their face, laughing at their calamity and their fear, the same way that they ate and drank and laughed in your face when you told them that to fear the Lord.
Right.
You do not get to the other side without enduring what we have to endure now. You cannot enjoy the best part of being in the truth if you don't suffer the worst part. Everybody understand?
Come.
Keep reading where you at in John 15 and 18.
Come, sir. This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
You understand? We cannot control that the Lord chose us out of this world.
Right.
We cannot go back and redo it. We can't go save the people that the Lord didn't choose. The Lord chose you for a reason, because you're special, because you're important, because you have gifts that the world needs to see. Brother, sister, please fight through the worst part of being in the truth and stand in the light and the glory of having been chosen out of this evil world. If the people in this evil world can celebrate and rejoice being LGBTQ and being white supremacists and being pro-Israel and being pro women's right, reproductive rights, and being pro, billionaires not being taxed. If everybody can be free to be pro whatever they want to be pro, then damn it, I'm pro righteousness.
That's right.
I'm pro Black Jesus. I'm pro the nigger God in the Bible. You understand? Right. And I will not be ashamed for it. I will not feel it. I don't have emotions to feel any kind of way about somebody that rejects the truth.
Right.
I was chosen to do a job. I thank the Lord he's allowed me to grow in this job and learn how to do this job well. And I just do it the way the Lord uses me to do it. And that's it. I don't have the energy to care. I don't have the energy to be concerned about whether you like it or not, how you feel about it. I don't have the energy to be concerned about the outcome. It's not the job the Lord gave me to do. You understand? As I said, Salakia, sir, what should our response be when people ask, how do you know the Lord chose you and not me? Your response should be, I'm obeying him and you're not. It's simple. The Bible is so black and white. When you remove the veil of Christianity, the Bible is so black and white that it's damn near retarded. I was on the internet the other day, and a woman said to me, because I was talking about the Voting Rights Act and how black people need to, now that the white man taking away the Voting Rights Act, we need to go ahead and just, come together and solve our own problems. We got to work out our own issues in our community. We can't go to the white man no more. And the woman said to me, explain it to me like I was 5 years old. What is your solution for the black community?
Good night.
I said, bitch, serve God, obey God.
Right.
That's the Bible makes it plain for a 5-year-old. I don't have to dumb it down. The solution is we need to be the people God called us to be and obey him. They don't want to hear that though, Makola. You know what their response is? Isaiah 30 and 10. Man, get out of the way, man. Tell me something good, man. Tell me something I need to hear. I got to give up the weed. I got to give up the hoes. Yes, you got to give all that up. Black people, we're never going to rise if we don't give up drugs. You got to give up your drug addiction. Black people will never rise if we don't give up our sexual deviancy.
Right.
Black people, we will never be freed from the white man's control if we don't give up his religion, his holidays, his culture, his sexualities. We got to give all that up.
Right.
You mad at that? You don't want to hear that? Oh, you niggas ignorant. You ain't got no real answers. No sweat. Lord be with you.
Right.
I don't have nothing else to tell you. Now, when you start dying in the streets, when the white man starts unaliving you and throwing you in prison, guess what? We did our job. I did my job. Blood ain't on my hands. Everybody understands. And I'm glad I was able to teach this class for anybody who thinks that we are cruel, for anybody who thinks that we're cold and we ain't, it's not that we don't have feelings or emotions. It's not personal to us.
Right.
I can't do it anymore. I've cried too much for people. I've cried too much for brothers and sisters being unalived in the streets by the police. I've cried too much for, the horrible things that happen. I don't feel anymore. It's just not in me to feel anymore. You understand? I just do my job that the Lord called me to do. I genuinely want all of my people to be delivered and all my people to be saved and for all my people to learn the truth and to change their lives. But me wanting that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Right. Me desiring it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I want the Lord's will to be done. That's what I want.
Come.
And the Lord has shown me that his will is not for me to be personally invested in anybody's salvation.
Come.
And it's not an easy thing. Like I sit here I am a man who feels. I love and care. And, I just don't have the energy to love and care for everybody. I got people in my life that's obeying the Lord. That's who I care about. I got people in my life that's doing the right thing. That's who I care about. I got people who are they follow my example. That's who I care about. Now, if they go off, if they do wrong, then it'll be personal for me because goddamn, why would you you know what I'm saying? But I'm just a man who the Lord has chose to teach his word and to counsel brothers and sisters and to tell them the truth. If you don't like what we got to say, you're not liking what we got to say. You're not liking what the Lord got to say. And you may think that we ain't got this, not the Lord. You might think it's me talking, no sweat. But you go find the Lord. Go find the nice, sweet words that you want to hear, and you can believe that person is a prophet of God. But there's scriptures all over the Bible where the prophet that prophesy lies is going to be known because the words of his prophecy not going to come to pass. How long have we been told everything going to be all right? Everything going to work out. You look better when you smile, and saint is a sinner that just fall down and get back up. You've been hearing that your whole life, and it ain't working.
Right.
It ain't making the Lord be on our side. With that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2026, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on this earth. All you brothers and sisters tuning in, if you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Like I said, I'm going to be on the road tomorrow, traveling down to Oklahoma. So I'll be in Oklahoma City this weekend. We're going to Tulsa, an event out Tulsa. So I'm going to be with the brothers in Oklahoma. All the brothers and sisters tuning in, man. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Spread the word, man. If you like what you're hearing in these classes, if you appreciate the word of the Lord being broken down, share it with people you care about. Share it with somebody who you know may need to hear it. Whether they choose to tune in or not, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But share these classes, man. Let brothers and sisters know there's a place where they can come and learn the truth and be protected and be guided and get what they need, so that maybe the Lord will allow them to, be delivered and save themselves from the evil of this world.
Right.
With that, I want to say the water, the office of Makola, Yahweh Bashim Shabarakatah.
Y'all Shem Shabakatah.
And to all the sisters, Yahweh
Y'all talking about Tim out shot.
With that, Lord allow, I probably won't see y'all for class tomorrow since I'll be on the road. But y'all look for the clips coming out on the YouTube and the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And y'all like and share those as well. And with that, shalom, Israel.
Come shalom, sir. Hey, Lord be with you, sir. Godspeed on you.